Most men get this completely wrong. They assume that if a woman likes them, she will make it obvious. The truth is that many times when a woman is actually attracted to you, she will go out of her way to hide it. That sounds crazy, right? But that is how female psychology works. Women are emotional, but they are also strategic when it comes to attraction. She might like you, but instead of being upfront, she will test you, hold back, or even act like she is not interested at all. And if you do not know how to read those hidden signals, you will miss your chance without even realizing it. Now, here is the thing. Women do this for a reason. They are naturally cautious about showing interest because they do not want to look desperate, lose power, or risk rejection. Think about it. Men usually chase. Women usually position. That means her interest is not always shown through direct words, but through subtle actions, small shifts in her behavior, and signals that most guys completely overlook. The philosopher Epictetus, who understood human nature better than most, taught that we should not be upset by what we do not have, but rejoice in what we do. When it comes to reading women, the same principle applies. You cannot control whether she admits her feelings, but you can control how observant you are. And when you learn to observe the subtle shifts in her behavior, you stop being confused and start being certain. What makes this even more frustrating is that a lot of men misinterpret her behavior. They either assume she is just being friendly, or worse, they think she is not interested and back off completely. Meanwhile, she is sitting there waiting for you to pick up on the little clues she is dropping. And let me be blunt. If you cannot recognize these hidden signs, you will always feel like women are confusing or hard to read. But once you understand how they operate, it is like flipping a switch. Suddenly, her behavior makes sense. You will know when she is actually into you, even if she is trying hard not to show it. And that knowledge gives you an advantage most men will never have. The Stoic philosopher Seneca wrote that we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. And when it comes to reading women, most men suffer from imagining disinterest when there is actually attraction. They imagine she is just being friendly, that she could not possibly be interested, and they miss the signs that are right in front of them. So, let us break down the real signs a woman likes you, but is hiding it. I am not talking about the generic, she laughs at your jokes advice. I am talking about the subtle psychological behaviors that women use when they are interested, but do not want to make it obvious. The first sign is that she gets nervous around you, but tries to play it cool. One of the most overlooked signs that a woman likes you, but is hiding it, is her nervousness. Now, here is where a lot of men get confused. They assume nervousness means disinterest or discomfort, but in reality, when a woman likes you, her emotions are heightened. Her body reacts before her mind can control it. That is why you will notice little signs of tension, her playing with her hair, fidgeting with her phone, or suddenly adjusting her clothes when you are around. These are not random habits. They are subconscious behaviors that happen when she is aware of your presence and does not want to mess up how she looks in front of you. But here is the tricky part. While she is nervous, she will also try to hide that nervousness by acting casual. She does not want you to catch on too quickly because that would make her feel vulnerable. So, she might look away quickly after making eye contact, or she will talk in a slightly colder tone to cover up the fact that she is actually excited you are there. If you do not understand this, you will misread her distance as lack of interest, when in fact it is the opposite. Another thing to notice is her voice. Women's voices often give them away. When she likes you, but does not want you to know, her tone might shift. Sometimes it gets a little softer, sometimes a little higher pitched. This is not something she plans, it is her emotions slipping through. If you pay attention, you will catch that subtle difference in how she speaks to you compared to how she talks to other guys. Also, watch her body language in group settings. If you walk into a room and suddenly she sits up straighter, adjusts her outfit, or changes her posture, that is not coincidence. That is her becoming hyper-aware of how she looks in your presence. She is nervous, but she wants to make sure she is still presenting herself in the best light. Now, here is where a lot of men mess up. They either ignore these signals completely, or they react the wrong way by calling her out directly. For example, saying, "Why are you so nervous?" will instantly shut her down because now you have exposed what she was trying to hide. The key here is to remain calm and confident. Let her be a little nervous. It is actually a compliment. It means she cares about how you see her. Think of it like this. Women do not get nervous around men they have zero interest in. If she is calm, casual, and completely unaffected, chances are you are just another guy in her world. But if she is trying hard to appear unaffected while her little habits give her away, you have already made an impact. So, the next time you notice a woman acting just a little different around you, more fidgety, a bit inconsistent in her tone, or hyper-aware of herself, do not mistake it for rejection. That is attraction in disguise. And if you stay grounded, you will give her the space to reveal it more over time. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. When a woman's thoughts are colored by attraction, her actions reflect it. The nervousness, the fidgeting, the subtle shifts in behavior, these are the colors of her soul bleeding through. The second sign is that her eyes say more than her words. If there is one thing a woman cannot fully control, it is her eyes. She may be able to control her words, her tone, even her attitude, but her eyes will always give her away. When a woman likes you, but is trying to hide it, her eyes often reveal the truth you cannot hear in her words. First, let us talk about eye contact. Normally, when someone looks at you, they will hold eye contact for a few seconds before looking away. But when a woman is into you, that eye contact feels different. Sometimes it is longer, almost like she is holding your gaze to connect with you. And sometimes it is shorter, like she cannot hold it because it makes her too vulnerable. Either way, the shift is noticeable. If she looks at you and then quickly looks away with a slight smile, or even acts like nothing happened, that is her feelings slipping out before she pulls them back in. Another clear sign is when she looks at you in moments she does not have to. For example, in a group setting, pay attention to where her eyes naturally go when she is not talking. If she consistently scans the room and lands back on you, that is attraction. She may not say anything, but she is watching. Women check on men they like, even if they are pretending not to. Then, there is the lingering glance. This is when she looks at you just a second longer than normal. It is subtle, but if you catch it, you will know it was not an accident. Sometimes she might even look at your mouth when you are speaking. That is her subconscious mind revealing physical attraction, even if she tries to hide it. Another sign is how her eyes react when you unexpectedly catch her staring. If she immediately looks away, acts busy, or suddenly checks her phone, that is not coincidence. That is her covering up the fact that she was caught looking. A woman who feels nothing for you will not care if you notice her looking. She will hold her gaze casually. But one who is attracted to you will act guilty, like you just discovered a secret. It is also worth noticing how her eyes respond when you talk to her. Do her pupils dilate slightly? Do her eyes light up, even if her words stay neutral? These are physiological signs of interest that she cannot control. If she is smiling with her eyes, even when she is pretending to act cool, believe what you see, not what you hear. Men often overlook this because they focus too much on what women say, but women are masters at using words to conceal how they feel. Their eyes, however, are much harder to disguise. That is why you should always watch the small details. Here is the truth. If her words tell you she is just being friendly, but her eyes keep finding you, her attraction is there. She may not want you to know yet, but her gaze already betrayed her. The philosopher Seneca wrote that the face is the index of the soul, and the eyes are the most revealing part of that face. When you learn to read the eyes, you learn to read the soul. The third sign is body language that betrays her attraction. A woman's body language will always speak before her mouth does. Even when she tries to hide her feelings, her physical cues slip through because they are unconscious. If you pay attention, you will notice her body often reveals what her words are trying to deny. One of the most common giveaways is how she positions herself around you. If she consistently angles her body towards you in group conversations, that is not random. People naturally turn toward those they feel drawn to. On the flip side, if she angles away or closes herself off, it usually signals disinterest. So, when a woman likes you but does not want you to know, she may try to appear casual, but her body will betray her. Then there is the distance factor. Women tend to protect their personal space, especially with men they are not interested in. But when attraction is there, she will reduce that invisible barrier. Maybe she stands closer than necessary, brushes lightly against you, or leans in when you talk, even though she could have stayed back. Those little invasions of space are not accidents. They are signs she feels comfortable and drawn to you. Her hands are another big clue. Many women unconsciously play with their hair, touch their neck, or adjust their clothes when they are around someone they like. It is not always because they want to look better. It is often nervous energy releasing itself. If you notice her fidgeting more around you than with others, that is attraction leaking out in physical form. Another subtle cue is mirroring. When a woman mirrors your body language, crossing her legs when you cross yours, picking up her drink when you do, leaning back when you lean back, that is a subconscious way of building rapport. She is aligning herself with you without even realizing it. It is her body's way of saying, I am in sync with you. Also, pay attention to her posture. Around men she is not drawn to, a woman's posture tends to remain neutral, relaxed, casual, or even closed off. But when she likes someone, her posture often becomes more attentive. She may straighten up, pull her shoulders back, or even subtly arch her back to appear more feminine. These micro-adjustments happen instinctively when attraction is present. Another strong sign is her reaction to physical proximity. If you step slightly closer and she does not pull away or even leans in further, that is interest. A woman who feels nothing for you will usually maintain a polite distance, but one who likes you, even if she is hiding it, will let you into her space. Lastly, watch her feet. Yes, feet do not lie. In psychology, it is often said that feet point toward what someone is interested in. If her feet are angled towards you when she is talking to others, that means you are where her attention really is. Here is the reality. Women are experts at hiding feelings with words, but their bodies are much harder to control. If you observe closely, her body language will always tell you the truth before her mouth does. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught that we should not be disturbed by events, but by our judgments about them. When you see a woman's body language revealing interest, do not judge it as disinterest just because she is not saying it directly. See it for what it is. The fourth sign is the accidental jealousy test. When a woman likes you but does not want you to know, one of her favorite strategies is to test your reaction through jealousy. She will not openly admit her feelings, but she will create small situations to see how much you care. It is subtle, but once you recognize it, you will see it clearly. For example, she might casually bring up another guy in conversation. She will mention how funny he is, or how he texted her something interesting. On the surface, it sounds innocent, but underneath, she is watching you like a hawk. She is paying attention to whether your energy changes, if you look annoyed, if you question her, or if you act indifferent. That reaction tells her exactly how invested you are. Another common move is being flirty in front of you. Not over the top, but just enough to provoke a response. Maybe she laughs a little louder at another man's joke, or lightly touches his arm in conversation. Women know these behaviors trigger men, and if she likes you, she wants to see if you will show signs of being protective or competitive. It is not because she wants the other man. It is because she wants to measure her effect on you. Sometimes jealousy tests show up in more subtle ways. For instance, she may accidentally post certain pictures on social media, knowing you will see them. Or she might suddenly become busy and mention spending time with someone you do not know well again. The goal is not to replace you. It is to spark curiosity and make you reveal how much she matters to you. Why do women do this? It is psychological. Women are naturally wired to seek reassurance about a man's feelings without having to directly ask. If she outright asks, she risks rejection, but by testing your reaction through jealousy, she gets her answer without putting her ego on the line. It is safer for her emotionally, and it gives her the information she wants. Now, here is the key. If you fail the jealousy test, you give away all your power. Overreacting, getting visibly upset, demanding answers, or trying to outperform other men only shows insecurity. That actually kills attraction because it proves you can be shaken too easily. On the other hand, showing complete indifference can also backfire. If you act like you do not care at all, she might believe you are genuinely not interested and withdraw. The smartest way to handle jealousy tests is balance. Acknowledge her little games without letting them rattle you. If she mentions another guy, you can respond with calm confidence. Something like, "That is cool. I am sure he is funny, but you know, I am hard to beat when it comes to humor. This keeps you playful, confident, and unbothered while still showing a subtle claim of interest. What women are really looking for here is emotional strength. They want to see if you are secure enough not to crumble under pressure, but also attentive enough to show they matter to you. If you pass this test, she will secretly feel more drawn to you, even if she continues pretending she does not like you. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote that we have power over our minds, not over outside events. When you are tested, you have the power to choose your response. You can choose calm over panic, confidence over insecurity, and that choice is what makes you attractive. The fifth sign is the push-pull game. One of the most confusing things a woman does when she likes you, but does not want you to know, is playing the push-pull game. This is where she gives you attention, affection, or subtle signals of interest, only to suddenly withdraw, act cold, or pretend she is not interested at all. To most men, this is maddening, but in reality, it is one of the strongest indicators that she is battling her feelings for you. Here is how it usually plays out. One moment she is warm, playful, and fully engaged in conversation, smiling, laughing, maybe even touching your arm. You start thinking, okay, she is clearly into me. Then, out of nowhere, she becomes distant, short replies, less eye contact, a sudden change in energy. Now you are left questioning everything, wondering if you imagined the earlier connection. This back and forth is not random. Women use push-pull when they are interested, but unsure if showing that interest will make them vulnerable. It is a way of testing your consistency. If she pulls back and you instantly panic, chase, or question her, she knows you are overly invested and she has the upper hand. If you stay calm, unfazed, and continue being yourself, she realizes you are not emotionally dependent on her mood swings, and that makes you more attractive. Push-pull also serves another hidden purpose. It builds tension. By keeping you guessing, she ensures you stay engaged. Think about it. If she were 100% predictable, you might lose interest quickly. But when she mixes signals, she creates mystery, and mystery is powerful because it keeps your mind locked on her, trying to decode her behavior. Sometimes the push-pull game happens through communication. She might text you enthusiastically one day, then take hours to reply the next. Or she will cancel plans at the last minute only to come back later with even more energy and attention. To you, it feels like inconsistency. To her, it is a way of seeing whether you will stay solid no matter what she does. Here is the tricky part. A lot of men fail this test by chasing harder when she pulls away. They think, if I just show her more interest, she will stop acting cold. But in reality, the opposite happens. The more you chase, the less power you have. Instead, the right move is to mirror her energy without losing your confidence. If she pulls back, do not collapse emotionally. Stay cool. Keep your life moving. Show her that you are not dependent on her approval. What she secretly wants is to feel like she is dealing with a man who cannot be easily manipulated by her emotional shifts. If you maintain your composure, she will respect you more, and ironically, she will lean back towards you faster. So, when you notice a woman playing the push-pull game, do not see it as rejection. See it as proof that she likes you, but is testing your stability. The way you respond will either strengthen her attraction or kill it completely. Stay centered, and you will always come out on top. The sixth sign is jealousy without admission. Another hidden sign that a woman likes you, but does not want to admit it, is the way she handles jealousy. Most women will not come out and say, "I am jealous." That would expose too much vulnerability, and it risks giving away her real feelings for you. Instead, she will express it in subtle, indirect ways that you have to learn how to recognize. Here is how it shows up. Let us say you are talking to another woman, maybe just a friend, a co-worker, or even a random stranger. If the woman who secretly likes you notices, you will see her energy shift. She might suddenly go quiet, give you shorter responses, or start acting disinterested in whatever you are doing. It is her way of masking the fact that she feels competitive, but she does not want to give you the satisfaction of knowing she cares. In some cases, she will go the opposite direction and try to overcompensate. She might talk louder, make a joke, or suddenly inject herself into the conversation to redirect your attention back to her. If she is bolder, she might even talk to you about the other woman, making a sarcastic comment like, "Wow, she seems really into you." But underneath that sarcasm is the sting of jealousy. Another form of hidden jealousy is when she tries to mention other men around you. It is almost like a mirror strategy. If she sees you interacting with women, she might casually bring up a male friend, an ex, or even a celebrity crush. She is not doing it to genuinely express interest in those men. She is doing it to trigger the same reaction in you that she is feeling. She wants to see if you will show signs of jealousy, because that would confirm you care. The key thing to understand here is that jealousy is always tied to desire. If she truly did not care about you, she would not be affected by who you talk to, where your attention goes, or what other women are in your orbit. Indifference is the real opposite of attraction. So, if you notice those subtle shifts in her mood whenever another woman enters the picture, it is a huge giveaway that she is invested, even if she is trying hard to hide it. Now, here is where most men mess this up. When they sense a woman's jealousy, they either confront her directly, "Are you jealous?" or they overplay it by trying to make her more jealous on purpose. Both of these moves can backfire. If you confront her, she will deny it because she does not want to lose control of the situation. If you push too hard with jealousy games, she might decide you are manipulative or not worth the effort. The smarter move is to simply acknowledge her behavior without reacting too much. Keep being confident, keep engaging naturally, and do not let her jealousy throw you off balance. By staying calm, you send the message that you are secure in yourself, and that makes her attraction grow stronger. In the end, hidden jealousy is one of the clearest windows into a woman's true feelings. She may not say it out loud, but her reactions around other women tell you everything you need to know. The seventh sign is the mixed signals game. One of the strongest hidden signs a woman likes you but will not admit it is when she gives you mixed signals. This can be the most confusing behavior for men because on the surface, it feels like she is sending you in circles. One day, she is warm, flirty, and engaging. The next day, she is distant, unavailable, or even a little cold. This push and pull dynamic is not random. It is often her way of managing her attraction while keeping control. Here is why women play the mixed signals game. Attraction makes them vulnerable. When a woman genuinely likes you, she feels an emotional risk. If she is too obvious, she fears rejection or losing power in the interaction. So, instead of showing consistent interest, she mixes moments of connection with moments of withdrawal. It is her way of keeping you guessing, testing to see if you will stay confident and steady, or if you will become needy and start chasing her harder. Mixed signals might look like this. She texts you first one day, but ignores your message the next. She laughs at your jokes and holds eye contact in person, but later acts like you are just friends. She gives you compliments, but follows them up with disclaimers like, "Do not get a big head." On the surface, it is confusing. Underneath, it is actually a protective strategy. She is revealing attraction in doses, but pulling back before it gets too obvious. The mistake men make is overreacting. When she is warm, they think she is all in. When she pulls away, they panic, chase harder, or start questioning her intentions. That roller coaster of male reaction is exactly what makes men lose the frame. Instead of being steady, they let her emotional shifts dictate their own behavior. Here is the truth. If a woman is giving you mixed signals, it usually means she feels something, but she is not ready to fully admit it. Indifference never looks like this. If she did not care, she would not bother texting at all, flirting at all, or playing hot and cold. Mixed signals are signals. They show she is wrestling with her feelings, attraction, and fears all at once. So, what should you do when you notice this? The answer is to stop chasing the highs and lows and instead create consistency within yourself. When she is warm, enjoy it, but do not get overly attached. When she is distant, do not get upset. Just keep living your life, stay confident, and let her come back around. The key is to never mirror her inconsistency. You lead by being steady. Here is the beauty of handling mixed signals correctly. The moment she realizes her games do not knock you off balance, her respect for you skyrockets. She sees that you are not like other men who get hooked by the push and pull. Instead, you become the stable force in her storm of emotions, and that stability is what makes her attraction deepen. At the end of the day, mixed signals are not really mixed at all. They are just a woman's hidden way of showing interest while protecting herself. If you can read between the lines and stay calm, you will see that her behavior is not confusion. It is proof she feels something real. When it comes to women, the truth is simple. They almost never say exactly what they feel up front. Instead, they communicate through subtle cues, hidden signs, and behaviors that only reveal themselves if you know what to look for. The little things, like her staring at you when she thinks you are not looking, adjusting her appearance around you, accidentally touching you, or playing the hot and cold game, are not random. They are signals. They are ways of saying, "I like you, but I do not want to risk being too obvious." The reason most men miss these signs is because they are waiting for a woman to be direct, but attraction does not work that way for her. Women live in nuance, in subtlety, in layers of behavior that protect them while still hinting at what they want. That is why the men who succeed with women are not necessarily the richest, the best-looking, or the smoothest talkers. They are the men who can read the hidden language of attraction without overreacting, without chasing, and without losing their own frame. The philosopher Epictetus wrote that no great thing is created suddenly, and the ability to read a woman's hidden signals is no exception. It is built through the accumulation of small observations, each one building on the last. Each time you notice a subtle shift in her behavior and respond with calm confidence, you build that ability. Each time you stay grounded when she tests you, you build that ability. And as you build it, it becomes part of who you are. It becomes part of your presence. And that presence is what will draw others to you. So, here is the takeaway. Stop focusing only on what a woman says. Pay attention to what she does, her body language, her little changes, her patterns of attention. They will tell you everything you need to know. And when you see those hidden signs, do not call them out. Do not expose her. Do not make her feel vulnerable or caught. Instead, let her feel safe in her subtlety while you quietly recognize what she is really communicating. That is the mark of a man who understands women, not because he has figured them out, but because he has figured out how to listen with his eyes as well as his ears. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. When your thoughts are colored by awareness and presence, your soul reflects that, and women will feel it. They will sense that you are someone who can see them, really see them, even when they are trying to hide. And that, more than anything, is what will make you unforgettable.